Hey guys, Scotty Disc Golf here, ready to do my in the bag today. I have my new Lizotte Signature Series grip bag, designed by Thoughtspace Athletics, the Angry 8. So let's just jump right in. Alright, let's start with my Putt Approach disc. So let's start with the putting putters. So recently I switched over from the Link to the Logic. I'm kind of curious about the stock Rainmakers, and I heard that they're shallower P2, and I know that the Logic is similar, so I decided to check it out. It's beadless, obviously. Again, it's supposed to be similar to a P2, just shallower. So trying this out for the time being until the stock Rainmakers come out, and I'll probably pick up some of those. I personally haven't really found a putter I didn't like. Pretty much, beadless doesn't really matter to me. The depth is the only thing that kind of bugs me, so like I'm not a huge fan of the burr. I've tried that out. Obviously I'm Discmania now. So I've felt the P2, but again, I like a little bit of a shallower putter. So that's why I'm trying the Logic. I have one Exo Soft and then two Exo Hards. And then for my throwing putter, I have this Colton Montgomery Signature Series Arctic Fang that I really like, that I'll probably never leave the bag. And then let's move to my approach disc. So I have an Exo Soft Tactic. I have a Neo Tactic, and I have the McMahon Signature Series Razor Claw 2. I know that I really should be looking into the plastics when it comes to stability in what situation I use them, for the ground play kind of thing. But I find I really end up always pretty much leaning on the Razor Claw 2. I love it for forehands. I've done it backhand a few times, but I'm more of a forehand kind of player with my approaches. I really love doing flex forehands. But if I really don't have an option, I'll do it backhand. Yeah, so I really lean on this disc a lot. Alright, so let's move into my mids. I'm going to go the opposite of what Simon did in his video. I'm going to go the most understable to the most overstable. So I know he said that the Midnight Prowl, he found it to be more understable than the stock Origin. I disagree, or at least with mine, I disagree. So I find that my stock Neo Origin is probably my most understable. Obviously love putting it on hyzer, letting it flip up, or putting it flat and then letting it turn over. But I personally don't really throw it as much anymore. I pretty much rely on my Klein Midnight Prowl. I really love the feel of this in my hand. The Origin actually is probably the disc that got me to fully switch over to Discmania. I was obviously a mixed bag. I was bagging a Discraft Buzz, no disrespect to Discraft, but I didn't really like the feel of it in my hand. I don't know if it was the run, but I didn't like the profile of it. It was just so flat and so shallow. But when I picked up my buddy's Origin and I threw it for the first time, it flew beautifully, and I've kind of been in love ever since. The next couple discs in my bag, I don't throw as much, and I really do need to start doing that, because I love this Iron Samurai 3, the Glow MD3. I didn't really like the stock MD3 when I first got it. I want to be transparent in this post, so if I didn't like something, I want to tell you. I got the blue one of the stock MD3, and it felt a little understable to me, and it wasn't as solid as I feel like the Iron Samurai 3 is. It's a little bit of give, but it's still pretty solid in the hand. It's not really gummy, and yeah, I just really love the feel of this in the hand, and it's not super understable. I love it. It's a great flight. Again, I need to throw it more. The next up is I have a Lizotte stamped new MD1. This is a great disc to work on your angles because it flies exactly how you release it. So if you release it on hyzer, it goes on hyzer. If you release it on anhyzer, it goes on anhyzer. So you need to be accurate with this thing. So I really need to start throwing this more. It's similar to like when you do a putter only round. It'll really show your flaws. This is probably my second favorite disc in my bag, the Neo Mutant. surprisingly, I don't know if I have a noodle arm, but if my arm's supposedly getting better, this is not nearly as overstable as I've heard it to be. I still think it still is overstable, but I love this thing, especially for forehands, getting some flex forehands. I recently got a 130-foot birdie with this flex forehand throw-in, so this is like my go-to kind of approach disc. I should be throwing, sometimes when I throw this, I should be throwing the Tactics, but I just really fell in love with it. And then I have this McBeth Foundation Vapor Method. I got the Vapor Method in the mystery box, where I at least traded one of my friends for it, and I really fell in love with it. And you'll find out shortly that pretty much all my discs in my bag are pink, or trying to be. And the Lex method I had was black. And when I saw that they had these in pink, I had to pick one up. So yeah, that is mine. So now we're gonna get into the fairways. I'm gonna go most overstable to most understable this time. Currently this is the most overstable fairway driver in my bag, but that may be changing. I may have a tilt on the way. Currently I kind of use this as more for utility shots. I don't really have quite the arm to really get in some distance. I hope to change that, obviously, and if I play in the wind it'll be great, but I usually use this to get me out of tight situations where I just kind of need something to go straight up and straight back down. I don't really give this thing enough credit though. It does get some distance though, so sometimes I think it's just going to go straight up and down, but it actually gets some distance, which is kind of why I want the tilt, just for those, you know, get around some trees or any sort of blockage, just up and over. So yeah, that's a splice. I was going to say wait for this later, but I can't bury the lead. This is probably my favorite disc in my bag. The Nate Perkins Meta Essence Zen. I absolutely love this thing. I think it's great for every player, new or old, you know, small arm, big arm. You know, you just put this thing on a little bit of hyzer, it flips up flat, it has a nice little turn and then fade. I can't speak more highly about this disc. Truly, I love it. I always want to have one of these in my bag. Next up is the Neo Essence that my buddy gave me. It's a bit beat up right now, so it's a bit more understable than the Zen. I need to start thinking more about what discs I'm choosing for given situations. I always tend to lean on my Zen. I don't ever think like, oh, maybe I want a little bit more understable. I guess I pulled this out if I ever need more of a turnover shot, just because I know it's more understable. But yeah, so I guess that would be something that's something that I need to do for my game, is start thinking about the disc choices a bit more, because the next few discs I love, I just haven't really thrown them as much as I should. This is a Forge Instinct. It's got a beautiful little metal flake to it. I think I don't know, I've heard that these are supposed to be a little bit more overstable than Instincts. I don't really notice too much of a difference, but it may just be because my arm or my throw, which I've been working on. Next up, I have the Piironen Vapor Instinct, the Real Rage 2. I really love this one actually for forehands. I don't know if that's really what most people use it for, what it's meant for, but that's what I like it with. I feel like it's the one that I get the most distance with. Don't usually use it too much for backhand. I usually use the Forge, but again, it's something that I need to start doing. And then last but not least, the new FD that just released. Again, haven't done this enough, so I can't really give too many of my thoughts on it. Maybe I'll do some review videos of some of the newer discs. But yeah, this is my fairway. Last but not least, I'm going to go with the distance drivers. With my arm, I probably shouldn't be throwing these as much as I do, but the one that I lean on the most and the one that I really do love is the Mentor. I probably had the best shot of my career lately with this disc. Just the other weekend, I threw about a 350-ish foot shot, just dead straight, just a little bit of turn, beautiful fade. I've been really working on my nose angle, which I think is helping a lot. So I probably should throw something, you know, slower speed for that distance, but I really do love the Mentor. You know, everyone kind of poo-poos on the active line, but I think they're great discs, and I really love this one. Next up, I just recently got this, so it's not quite being, I don't use it. Again, there's some discs I just don't use as much as I should, or for the right situations, is the Neo Enigma. Yeah, I can't really say much about it because I haven't thrown it enough, but I do like the feel of it in my hand. The rim's not too big. So yeah, I need to throw this more. And then next up, one of the biggest rims I've ever seen is the Majesty. I got the Klein stamped one, which I really love from Great Lake Discs. I've heard this is great for forehand. I haven't used it again as much as I should, or actually I probably shouldn't have used it as much as I do because I don't really have the arm. But I wanted something that was more overstable for the wind because I was playing in wind a lot lately, and I wanted something that had some distance, so this is why I picked it up. Hopefully once my arm gets up there, it'll work out. Last but not least is the new Eagle McMahon Cloudbreaker 3. I just got this in the other day. I know it's not pink. As you'll see, most of the discs in my bag are pink. I'm actually working on replacing all of them, so they're all pink. But for the time being, blue is my exception. The only reason I didn't get pink is because pink is supposedly the most overstable Cloudbreaker 3, and my noodle arm can't handle it. So thankfully, the blue is supposed to be the most understable of the Cloudbreaker run. So I'm excited to try this out. I haven't thrown it yet. Yeah, so that is my distance driver. Okay, so next I want to do something that Jonathan did with Kristen in her video. Again, I've already said this, but my favorite disc in my bag has to be this Meta Essence Zen. I will go in a creek for it, I will go in a lake for it, I will climb down a mountain for it. I do not want to lose this disc. I've already got a backup on the way. It actually should be being delivered today. I wish I had it so I can show it off because it's a beautiful die by Disc by Emily. Yeah, this is near and dear to my heart, this disc. The disc that I don't, it's not that I don't like it, but again, like Kristen, probably the most replaceable is just this Exo Soft Tactic. Not that I don't like it, I just don't throw it as much, and you know, I have two other tactics that I can replace it with, and I have an Exo Hard at home too, so again, not a bad disc, just probably one that I wouldn't mind if it got lost. In this video, doing a little bit of a show and tell of the new bag, to show you some of the features and where I've been placing stuff lately. I literally just threw everything together in this bag last night, so stuff may change, but so obviously this is the AX5 grip bag. It's a little bit different, obviously, because it's the signature series. It doesn't have the Velcro pattern on the top, but I think for the most part everything else is the same. So at the top, you know, it has the kind of putter pouch. It's not fully enclosed, so you can put stuff up top, but they could fall out. It has Velcro, so you can shorten it. Currently I've just been letting it hang all the way down so I can fit more in there. Then there's this little spot up top. It has two kind of just pockets. So I'm putting my mini in there with my knee pad, as well as some hand sanitizer, just the rules, a Sharpie, just little bits and pieces here and there. Obviously the main pouch, there's this little pouch that you can put a disc in. It's pretty easy to get stuff in and out, at least I've seen so far. The disc really doesn't get beat up in here. The discs from the top don't really hit it either. So I'll probably keep one right here. Obviously, you can open or extend these side pouches to make them bigger. Right now I just have them open because I love seeing the design. You can keep them in or out, it doesn't matter. There's these little pouches on the side. I have my Gazellus whale sack from Jomez in there right now. They have, obviously, this is the big thing for me on any bag, is having water bottle holders. and I need two. And this is perfect because these are actually insulated. My last bag didn't have that, so that's kind of a nice feature to have. And then within these pouches, there are other pockets. So I have my Bushnell rangefinder in there. I have some cash, but I can put my wallet in there, my keys, all that kind of junk. And then in this one, I just have my towels, but it also has a pocket. And then I think that is about it. Oh, besides, it does have this fancy umbrella holder, or you can use it to, put your stool, or, I'm carrying my tripod in it right now. I want to look into a Discmania umbrella. I know I'm a Discmaniac, I'm sorry. I'm wearing the hat, I have the bag, all my discs for Discmania. I'm not on the team, love to be on the team if I could, but yeah, so everything is Discmania for me. It does have a Velcro thing that kind of makes it shorter, probably for the umbrella, which is nice. Just want to show off some more of the design. I love the padding, the straps feel nice. The bottom is probably going to be interesting. I'm going to have to get used to that on my bag. But I also feel like having this chest strap is going to be nice because I'm used to just one shouldering this, so it'll be nice to put both on and be able to have this to take some of the weight off of my shoulder. And then it has a little ring to put your stuff on, so I have some of my bag tags. Shout out La Mirada, shout out Okro, shout out SoCal. Yeah, I think that is it. Thanks for joining me. I'm trying to be more personable, trying to be better in front of the camera. I'm much better behind the camera. Hopefully I'll have a mic next time, and hopefully I'll pick a quieter spot to do this, but hopefully you enjoy. Like and subscribe. Don't worry, none of these is going to be hurting this, but